I mean, those decks are not quite non-existent. And it's also true, it's like, you know, Canister did the same thing, like, last weekend when he won the challenge with the Elementals deck. Canister is playing, like, a bunch of Subtleties and Solitudes. And he was saying that he wouldn't be playing as many if Titan wasn't just an unwinnable matchup. And so it's like, with this deck, yes, those kind of combo decks aren't popular, but it's also like, it seems incredibly, incredibly difficult to beat them if you don't have access to Force of Negation in the deck. Alright, gonna get hit by Ragavan. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, those matchups are not popular, but they are really, really, really hard to beat without access to Force. But it's also possible that you're just supposed to just say, I'm just never gonna win those matchups. Alright. Would you like to play Chalice X equals 1? You want to get value out of your Ragavan, don't ya? Ah, they played it on 0. I can't believe it. They have Bobble in their deck. What the hell? They played it on 0. The shark bit have been funner during the challenge, maybe. I might do it in the challenge. I don't know. I'm having a good time, but you know, I don't know. I don't feel like I want to do it forever. It's fun. Oh, they're a blue deck? Wait. They can't drown this. Yeah, they can't drown this. White mana? They made white mana off the treasure. I think that they think they can drown this. Can you fetch? Make sure you right click the land. Yeah, I need to be in the habit of doing that. Easier said than done. Have I tried a similar elemental deck? I haven't played it, no. But like usually I only like to play decks if I feel like I can innovate on them. Well, my opponent 100% has Drown and Lock in their hand. So I guess what I'm going to do is trade Drown and the Lock for Teferi. And then this way they can't, maybe the general will be clear because they won't have another multicolor answer. We just jammed Iteration as bait. I feel like I would rather bait with Teferi. Maybe Iteration's better bait. The Iteration isn't even like that good on this turn. It's like Iteration is like Brainstorm. The longer you hold it, the better it is. We get Shark versus actual facial expression side by side. I actually don't think I can get the webcam and the Shark cam working at the same time, because OBS Streamlabs is like really weird about the same camera being used by the same source. Should I Fury a Shadow here? I probably should. That means I lose. It means I lose one of my good spells, though. That's probably fine. Yeah, most cameras are like that. Oh, but in regular OBS, I think for whatever reason that doesn't work that way. I'd be misremembering. My hand Prismari Command in general, or is just a hedge against Hammer? A bit of both. Like Prismari Command is, I think, fine in the metagame, but it also has a couple of other nice applications. Oh. Now we're chump blocking. I guess I can hit Prismatic Ending. I did hit Prismatic Ending. Yeah, it has some nice applications in this metagame, or in this deck, where you can loot extra lands that you draw with Wrenn and Six away, which is pretty nice. And then you can also want to tap like this. You can also they have another drown. No. I guess that makes sense because they put Luris in their hand. You can also make a treasure on turn 3, and then on turn 4 go Omnath fetch land and have a really big turn. Okay, so bring in these rest in pieces for the Prismari commands usually in these matchups. Against the Shadow variant, though, I probably would have cut Fury number 3. Nahiri's probably not that bad. Nahiri might be better than Fury against the Shadow variant. Maybe I'll just play 2 Nahiris. Kind of like this. And we trophy with this deck. Yeah, we trophied on stream twice yesterday with the deck. I think I like this. Not today though, but you can't trophy every day. I think we're still trophy leader. Yeah, Principe hasn't got one today. Did get one yesterday. Yeah, back to back yesterday. It was a good run. I'm gonna look at that hand. This hand's really good. I think I'm putting back Manamorphose and grabbing Ketria Triome. What do you think about decks bringing in Leyline of the Void against Darcy decks? That's usually good, where Leyline of the Void either will hit like Croxa or Shadow, or will also stop Murktide Regent. So it tends to be good against more than just Darcy and post board. Right click reminder. Yeah, I'll try to start getting in the habit, because it already happened once today. I grabbed the wrong Triome. That was easy. That was easy. Maybe they have a bolt in their hand. Just gonna get a casual 4-for-1 off Wrenn, 3-for-1. Oh man, they could have taken it with the Thoughtseize, but I guess they just had to take the Chalice. It'd be cool to keep track of the decks you trophy with. Yeah. I mean, if I trophy off stream, I usually post about it. They're all streamed, so they're all recorded. Bantu's Last Reckoning would be something. How many channel points to get a quick baby shark karaoke in? Probably rather stop streaming if I have to do that. I mean, that was a good turn for them. Maybe I should take in oh, I can Helix off the Omnath, but they're just off of it. Okay. Don't think I'm changing anything for game 3. I might want like the first copy of Fury on the draw. Kind of think that's fine. Things could be worse on the draw if they have turn 1 monkey again. Missing the gut shots a bit. This is a hard matchup to mulligan in, because they have all these discard spells. But I don't think I can keep a hand that doesn't do anything till turn 3. Yeah, this hand's way better. I'm gonna put back Helix, I think. I could put back a land. That's probably a bit too greedy. I could put back Omnath. Yeah, let me put back Omnath, because I want to be able to go ending into Helix and then refill with Iteration on 3. Cool. What land am I getting? Probably... Ooh. We get Sacred Foundry. Rest in Peace is solid against these decks. It's not like... It's actually pretty good, because it shuts off Drown, it shuts off Darcy, it shuts off Ferrous, it shuts off a lot of cards. Dash Monkey, wow. By Darcy, sure. I mean, it doesn't completely shut this one off. Does Rest in Peace hurt me? It turns off my Wrenn and Six plus, but that's the only thing it turns off. It's like way more damaging to my opponent. And now this turns off one of my opponent's main outs to the general, which is Drown in the Lock. You just cast the monkey. Does this mean they have another counterspell? They could have Terminate. I'm gonna cast the general. I like. They don't have too many answers to this. The upside is really, really high if this sticks. If they have Terminate or Kolaghan's Command. They usually just play one Terminate. Is Chalice actually good in a Prismatic Ending meta? I think so, yeah. I mean, like, Chalice isn't good against the Prismatic Ending decks, but it's good against, like, literally the rest of the format. Yeah, usually the decks that play Prismatic Ending aren't soft to Chalice, but it's really good against Darcy Ragavan, really good against Hammer Time, really good against Cascade, which are the pillars of the metagame. And even if you Chalice on... Oh, man. Is the Shark easy enough to turn on off to be channel point redemption for 5 minutes? Maybe. I'll think about it. I like the suggestion. The Allurus in hand, it stinks to lose the Helix. Have some good hits off this iteration, though. Another Helix? I can't believe it. Pretty good. Down to 10. I think I'm gonna iteration before Nahiri here. I kind of want Nahiri minus on Luris, you know? I guess now I'll Prismatic Ending the Luris. And maybe I could Red Ping plus Nahiri next turn. Nice to get back-to-back 2-for-1s in this spot. They have a counter spell of some kind? They're just shocking for Shadow. Shadow is like really deadly. We can't exile it. They drew Iteration. Wow. They exiled Iteration though, or Drown the Lock, which is just a dead card right now. Have a Mountain, cast Darcy. Oh, it went to the exile off of Darcy. My bad. Just read the board state. I think I just want to ping and just plus this Nahiri. Oh, I have to shock though if I plus. Is that okay? I go to 5. I can probably go to 5. I died 2 bolts though. But they probably like slided out some bolts, right? They did 2 bolts anyways. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. They attack me. Now I'm dead to 2 Kolaghan's commands. Pretty dead to that one. That's a good one though. So let's cast that first. I cut it from the sideboard for the Nahiri package. 1 Wear Tear, and then the 2 gut shots. So if I play this land, I go to 8, but I'm still dead to the shadow hit. I think it's still fine. I didn't slide in the Emrakul, I just brought in 1 Nahiri, but we can minus to get another Omnath. Why not minus Nahiri on top Darcy, ping down with Wrenn? Because then my Nahiri only has 2 loyalty and is like way more fragile. And the Darcy is just gonna die to the other Darcy dies to the other Wrenn next turn. My opponent says that Omnath ... I mean, man. Sorry that I like drew anything that did anything. Just I drew a 4-mana chump blocker. Definitely not my best top deck there. I'm definitely keeping this. We're playing as Giganta, the Wellspring, which I guess means my Chalice is not going to be that good. Probably. I mean, it could be Tron. It could also be Jeskai Ascendancy. Could be a few. It could be a few different things. It could be like a zoo. It could be zoo. I thought someone would be a great deck for Pioneer. There's a PTQ today, right? I mean, I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about Pioneer in a while. Yeah, it looks like Jeskai Ascendancy, maybe? No, maybe, I don't know. It's a little early to tell, I guess. Maybe I should, I think that I want to play Chalice. They very clearly have 1-drops in there. Oh, sorry. My mouth gets all weird like that when I like rub my beard. Yeah, this is probably like Doomwake Zoo. Not sure. Could be Ascendancy. Although they wouldn't play Ignoble Hierarch, right? Territorial Kavu. Well, I want to bounce the Ignoble Hierarch because then it gets countered by the Chalice. We can Manamorphose to fix for white mana. And maybe just exile this, but we can also maybe just take a hit off the Kavu, right? Maybe Teferi dies to the Kavu. Yeah, let's go Teferi, bounce the Hierarch, and then take a hit off the Kavu, and next turn we can go Wrenn and Six, get a white land, Prismatic Ending the Kavu, which is pretty painful if they don't attack Teferi, but they'll probably attack Teferi if they have Cascade spells in their deck. For how long am I a shark? Probably just today. Maybe I'll do it again. I'm having a good time. Yeah, Doomwake, is this your deck? Do you recognize this deck? The shark animation is super disorienting. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are probably pretty vocal about liking the shark animation, and then maybe some people are less vocal about not liking it. Good sequencing. Good sequencing. Tribal Flames me down to 7. So if I have to fetch Shock next turn, I'm dead. So I guess what I'll do is Manamorphose for mana fixing, so I'm not dead to 1 more Tribal Flames. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to be Perma-Shark. I don't want to do Perma-Shark. But maybe every once in a while. They have drawn it. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They could have drawn it off the Kavu. Of course. Well, we did everything we could to play around this Tribal Flames. Then do another one. Don't currently have the white mana I need though, because I haven't been able to fetch it. But this is kind of perfect, assuming we can just survive for 1 more turn. They would have killed me if they had another Tribal Flames last turn, so just need everybody to hold. I could cast another iteration here. I can cast it at instant speed though. I don't need to cast it now. Can't cast the Helix. Okay. Go to game 2. This matchup's probably not that bad. Might not be that good though. Prismari Command kills their Scion of Draco. Do I want... I don't think I want Nahiri. The card's probably not that bad though. Helix doesn't seem like it kills... I guess it kills Mantis Rider is probably pretty good. Yeah, let's do this on the play. Maybe on the draw we cut the Chalices. But I feel like Chalice is fine on the play. Especially if they're playing Ragavan. How can you cast a second iteration? I plus Teferi Time Raveler, so I could just cast it at instant speed. And oh, I had a forest in play. Never mind, you're right. Sorry. I was thinking it was an island. Should thank tour guide. It's been a good day so far. Anybody who criticizes the basic land arts gets eaten. Yeah, the squid is probably getting pretty uncomfortable sitting here all day. Can we get a big chomp? It doesn't actually close the mouth. Yeah, just you know, scare people. I can't actually eat anybody. Well, get a mulligan. 5. Keep. The back, Prismari Command Fury, probably. This Chalice has got some work to do. I think we're getting Temple Garden with the Arid Mesa, but I'll just like play this tapped. Not lock in that decision yet. Does it track pupil? Yeah. It actually seems to be eye tracking, blinking. A little bit, not like super hard. I guess I can get basic planes now, and then get a tap green source next turn. And hope my opponent somehow has all their 1-drops. I think this matchup's probably decent, but spelled a 5 on the play after, you know, man, it didn't work out so well game 1. It's just all fine. All good, baby. Okay, Mantis Rider, very helixable. We are going to take 4, gain 3 back, get a tapped Temur Triome, probably. And maybe Omnath can take over the game if we can find a land. We got a lot of good draws. If I draw Teferi, am I going to bounce Hierarch? I might. I don't need to make that somewhat difficult decision. Sometimes these decks play. I guess they can't Tribal Might because we have Chalice in play. But I'll just kill this now. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I mean, waiting till attacks is good because of Exalted. But I cast it there because I thought they might play Tribal Might. But it seems we've taken an extra point of damage. If we end up losing to it, we end up losing to it. They didn't cast anything. They must just have the 1-drops like we were hoping, right? It's good for us. Do I save the fetch land for Omnath? I could hold the Omnath for a turn. I guess it doesn't die to Path, though. It would die to Tribal Flames. Yeah, I don't mind just playing the Temple Garden tapped and holding the Omnath for a turn. Just, like, make sure I can gain some life off of it if I start flooding. And this also might incentivize them to Tribal Flames us. It's also like way better if Doom is right and they have Boros Charm to hold. Right? Just passing back again. Now our hand's not perfect either, but they can't path this. It's nice. So if they are going to Tribal Flames it, we at least get to gain 8 life. It's this is fine, I guess. I'm gonna each fetch land into 8 life. I suspect the Omnath is gonna die. I can maybe try to deal them damage with the fetch lands. Yeah, that's right, 7 life, because they won. Their hand just must somehow be all 1-drops, right? Or 1-drops lands. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're hard to see into the contents of their hand. Or the contents of their heart. I think on the draw, I'm going to go down to 2 Chalice. And then play the first Nahiri. They might even be citing in more answers to Chalice. They're taking some time here. Okay, this is probably not that good, but I think I'm reading too much into it. But I think that this pause means that they're bringing in answers to Chalice, and so with that read, citing out the Chalices for the rest of the Nahiris makes sense to me. I definitely could just be like getting myself a bit, but I think it's like kind of close between which card is better on the draw anyways. And so if I could just like maybe get him that way, I think that's fine. I think I'll keep this hand too. It's a little slow. But the mana's good, we can kill a Mana Dork or Ragavan on the draw. There's the Ragavan. Obviously still a scary card. Yeah, I agree that I'm probably just like leveling myself, but I don't know. It's on Magic Online at least. It is kind of uncommon for people to like really tank super hard when they're going to sideboarding for game 3. You know what I mean? Unless like new information comes to light. Although I guess they knew I had Chalice in that game. I don't know. Chalice is also like way worse on the draw in this matchup, where they don't even have that many 1-drops to begin with. Sometimes you just also have to trust your gut. They have a Sideboard guide for the red black deck. I do have one up on CFP Pro, yeah. Just not on the Discord. Exile Temple Garden, fetching before Ragavan hits because I really don't want them to hit my Triome. Wow, they didn't play another threat. The Wrenn should get a. I mean, they could have another Ragavan dash kill the Wrenn and Six for this not to be a true 2-for-1. They likely have minimum 10 to 1/1-drops. They probably have both Hierarchs, Ragavan, and then like some amount of paths. But just on the draw, like you're really Chalice is only stopping path and then top decked 1-drops, which is maybe enough to have one copy of. Maybe I should just left it one copy. Can I make the shark go cross-eyed? Well, I as a person can't go cross-eyed, so Mantis Rider would get the Wrenn too. I can't go cross-eyed, so the shark can't either, I guess. Don't they play bolts? I don't know if they play bolts. I don't know if we saw it earlier. I don't think they usually play bolt, but some lists do, I'm sure. Shardless Agents. Hopefully they hit like they hit Helix. Okay. They're also missing their land drop, I'm assuming. I guess they could have a non-blue land in their hand. Yeah, them missing their land drop's pretty good for us. They also don't have Domain. It is good to see these 4 or 5 color decks, you know, my deck included, stumbling sometimes. I just remember in like the Arkham's Astrolabe meta, these decks never stumbled. I think I'd like to maybe try to clear the board for Nahiri next turn. Prismatic Ending is also like a pretty high value card, so this doesn't feel great, but I keep saying this, the longer you hold Expressive Iteration, the better. Especially in a deck like this where the mana curve is a bit higher. So I don't mind holding the iteration, just clearing the board here. It's the name of my octopus. It's Athena, my dog. She's also cosplaying with me. Say hi, Athena. Feels like a too aggressively dashed Ragavan. Well, I would have loved to draw that this turn. Percy Ragavan, I guess the dash was really good. I mean, the dash was fine. I don't know the contents of their hand. I don't know the contents of their heart, you know. Should I discard Nahiri? Another Nahiri? I'll probably just plus and not discard anything. I mean, this isn't. It's not like a true land drop, and like when they're missing land drops like this, it's like it is a tax for them to keep sinking mana on Ragavan every turn. But it could be correct with the context of their hand. I personally would probably rather just cast the Ragavan so I could start deploying more threats later, but it really just depends on their hand and maybe their read of the matchup too. My CFP Pro code is Spike. Thanks for asking. You can use it at checkout, and it doesn't give you any discount, but it does give me a proceed of the cut. How does the model handle 2 people at once? I don't know. I think it calibrates on just one person's face and ignores the other one. I think me and Esther tried it last night, and I don't think it did anything. I didn't bring in the Emrakul again. I don't know. I think you bring in the Emrakul in more grindy matchups. Don't think they're casting that. Alright, so do I want to Manamorphose before iteration? I think I can just do it after if I like iteration into spells that I can't cast. Let's see what we draw. Ooh, Chalice on 0 seems pretty good. Or Explosives on 0. Although now... let's discard the Manamorphose. Yeah, I'll just Helix the dang monkey. And then next turn, I can grab an Omnath off Nahiri. They might also think I have Emrakul and just concede. It used to happen with Jeskai Nahiri. Yeah, I thought I would exploit the treasures too, but if they're just gonna dash Ragnarok again, I think I'd rather just Helix it. I think it's close, I should probably say. It was not an easy call that turn, I think. Hard to say what's the best when both lines win, yeah. Very true, very true. Opponent has 7 cards in their hand. They use the treasures. The Tribal Flames Nahiri. You'll love to see it. Let me actually discard the Mesa first. They might have another Ragavan. That would make some sense. The way they've played this game. So I don't have enough white mana to play Teferi plus and hold up ending for Ragavan. I don't really feel like I care that much if their turn is dash Ragavan again. By purposely doing funny faces, yeah. Now I have to get in the habit of not making funny faces anymore. You stick out your tongue to the shark. Yeah, I'm sticking when the shark does it, I'm sticking out my tongue. Yeah. Pretty good. I'm pretty impressed by the software. Alright. 32 and 7. I guess we keep this. It's slow. Saga no Luris. Dude, Titan's a terrible matchup, I think. I have not played it in a long time. House on 0, I guess. I haven't seen a Titan deck in a long time. We don't have a lot of sideboard cards besides like the Wear Tears, the Nahiri plan. Yeah, it's definitely a lopsided matchup. It's fine. Yeah, maybe Titan's back on the menu. I mean, honestly, I kind of personally feel like I am not of the opinion that the Titan decks were ever that bad. I agree that they weren't well positioned for a little while, but the deck is so powerful. I really feel like if you want to play Titan, like it's been playable this whole time. I mean, like there's a lot of things that make Titan worse, Unholy Heat, Ragavan, Hammer Time. Yeah, but that might be like the metagame. It's like the Darcy Ragavan / Hammer Time decks, and those decks get beaten up on by decks like mine, and then decks like my opponents get beat up on these decks. That might just be the natural cycle of things. Yeah, if they have a Titan in their hand, we lose. We at least beat Summoner's Pact. Yeah, audacity of the Titan player to draw Primeval Titan. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the Wear Tears. I think I bring in a Nahiri Emrakul. I want to cut the Helixes. I want to cut like 2 Chalices, I think. When it says main deck Chalice. Don't you know Chalice is bad against the Titan deck opponent? Why would you main deck Chalice? Main deck Chalice? What? Oh man. My place, yeah, Chalice on 0 for Summoner's Pact, and Chalice on 1's not that relevant against them. Right, well, putting back that Emrakul, I guess. I don't think Force of Negation is bad per se, but we have other answers to all the things that Force of Negation stops. We have Chalice for Summoner's Pact, we have Wear Tear, and Prismatic Ending for Amulet, and so there's just not that much else to force. Yeah, they thought it was Ponza. That makes sense. Going Stomping Ground Forest. Alright, I think I get Jeskai Triumph still. I think I blow up both my opponent's permanents. And still lose. Oh, I keep forgetting to right click when I fetch. Should I only Prismatic Ending the Amulet here? Because then if they have another Amulet, I can fuse next turn. Why didn't wear this in response to Saga Trigger? I wanted to get this. It doesn't matter when I mean, I guess. Oh, that I didn't realize you could do that. We ending this. Yeah, I guess it's kind of bad if they just bounce land the Saga, actually. And then I've got stuff to use my mana on next turn. Pretty good, pretty good. We did have another artifact. Rokiric. Hopefully we'll dispatch my opponent quickly. Yeah, I guess we were Ponza after all. Oh, they have another amulet. Explosives on 0. My tokens. Not too worried about that. So I'm playing this one. Bounce land, they've got 4 mana. They're unlikely to be able to Titan this turn, right? Or pick up their Cavern. When I play Teferi, does the clock really change? I mean, what does Teferi do for us that's like valuable at all here? Bounce the amulet that they spend 1 mana on. Omnath is like a 4/4, you know? Yeah, we haven't settled on a nickname for the general. I feel like nothing's sticking. Seven. We have lethal next turn, and they are going to be short of Titan with the cards we know about. They also didn't crack their map, which is probably a mistake, right? Yeah, not everything needs a cute nickname. The general is probably fine. I do think that the Ferrous Rokiric is... I'm not a fan. Not a fan. uh... Maybe Teferi is actually kind of bad. Maybe we can cut 1 for like the... I kind of want the 3rd Chalice on the draw. Alright, well, this hand's not too bad. The matchups where I put up Fury and Chalice. I mean, there are not enough matchups, I think, where I'm gonna do that I would want to have like a Jagatha for like the 1 or 2 matchups where I do that. It's just like not worth the sideboard slot. Why is it? The Emrakul's not in our main deck, it's in the sideboard. We brought it in because we also brought in the Nahiri's. GW for George Washington. I feel like that's kind of a reach though, right? Because not terrible. A bit of a reach. They have a Zeus and not Dryad. That's really bad for us. Hopefully they're on Summoner's Pact, I guess. Guess I maybe could have shocked to leave up mana for that. But we're not beating Titan this turn anyways. I think. Yeah, it stings for the turn 3 Titan through the Chalice and Terror, but that matchup's really bad. That matchup's really, really bad. I don't think people are going to play it tomorrow. I think people are still off of it, but I just have to dodge it. I think I'm playing this deck tomorrow. I've been doing really well with it. I think it'll be fun. Against Alex. Good luck, Alex. Back second Manamorphose, or we put back? We'll put back second mana. Where Murktide has all the Titan sideboards cards trimmed. Yeah, it might be fine. It might be fine. Like maybe this is like going to be the comeback weekend for Titan. I'll sleep on it, I guess, but I also don't think Titan is going to be so popular that I need to, like, you know, worry that much about it. Like the matchup is probably what, like 30% or something. Like even if we play against it, it's not like we have no chance. All right, main deck, rest in peace. Looking pretty good against my Wrenn and Six, I guess. So this is the Nassif Jeskai deck, it looks like. So I think I want to Chalice. This turns off their bolts at least. The Wren's not doing too much against the Rip, although I could maybe just get it into play and deal with the rest in peace with the Prismatic Ending. Yeah, definitely not a Chalice matchup. These draws, man. This has not this has gone pretty poorly for us. The land of the iteration or Manamorphose. Second Wrenn. Like the rest in peace is usually not this good against us. We're just like really on the this game. We're playing 23 lands. Like, yeah, we were like very likely to hit one there. Sometimes get a little unlucky. We've also been running really hot with this deck for a few days, so it's, you know, it's gonna be fine to run bad every once in a while. Alright, cast Wrenn and Six. Yeah, it is nice that there's like not really counterspells game one. I feel like this matchup's probably does lean towards our favor. Not by a ton. Maybe they have 4 bolts in their hand. Okay. A shark respects shark, you know? Shark respects shark. We bring in the Nahiri Miracle Plan instead of the Chalices. And the Prismatic Endings aren't great against them, right? Fury's not great against them either. I'll probably play like 1 Fury, 3 Ending, 3 Force. A scale of off cam to on, where does view T being rated as being carefree and less self-conscious? I mean, I've been streaming full time for a long time now, and so I've kind of lost any amount of self-consciousness that I would have had at one point. But you know, I'm like scratching my head more, you know, and my posture is kind of bad today, maybe. But it's definitely not, you know, the level of relaxing that's being off camera is. No wear tear? I don't think so. Like, it's just like, what do they have? Rest in Peace? Hardcast Typhoon? I don't really care that much about Rest in Peace. It just like makes Wren's Plus not a card. We have other answers for Rest in Peace and Prismatic Ending and Nahiri. What do you think about a blue moon deck right now? Mini decks are stretching mana quite thin. I'm not sure. Sure. Yeah, you can gift a sub for some put advice on a deck list, yeah. Do those. And it's probably a mulligan on the play. Better. You can tell this hand is better because it has Wrenn and Six in it. I think we're gonna go Temur Triome into Sacred Foundry. Dark Typhoon or Jace Murktide for FNM. I wouldn't recommend playing Jace, but I mean, it's FNM. I just recommend playing whichever one you think is more fun. Do you have a Bring to Light shell you think is competitive? I'm kind of off of most 5 mana values plays in Modern at the moment. So it's kind of like even the driving idea behind this list is that 5 mana sorcery speed spells are just not well positioned. Even if I believe that Bring to Light for Tibalt is the best, which I do. I'm just off of it, I think, for the time being. I'd probably just jam Omnath here. Just keep getting 2-for-1s. We'll get Stomping Ground. Alright. Tech. I mean, Charlotte's, you know, if you want to build Charlotte Sultai, because Charlotte's Agent is cool and fun, more power to you, of course. I'm not of the opinion that this deck is going to end up being hyper competitive, but that's fine. Not every deck has to be. You know, it's just like, you know, the modern format is all about these 1-mana spells. Dragon Rage Channeler, Darcy, the efficient 1-mana removal. And this is really cold to 1-mana removal. This is really cold to 1-mana removal. Charmer Waif is fine, but Unholy Heat has made the card a bit worse. Jace the Mind Sculptor, I think, is at an all-time low in Modern. I just wouldn't play Jace at all. Like, your deck is even going to be grindy enough without the Jace. I do like Witherbloom Command. I think that card's fine at the moment. I'd try to play the 7th discard spell if I could. I would definitely play the 4th Fatal Push in the current Modern metagame. I never really have felt like Creeping Tarpit is a playable Modern card, to be honest, and it is. That card is probably at an all-time low as well. Drown with Lock is a card I like a lot in this deck. I would try to play more copies of Drown. I'm not a huge fan of Jace usually, especially right now. Your mana is also like really hard, probably playing Voidwalker, Abrupt Decay, and Drown with Lock. It's I'm sure it's functional, but it's just like probably not that smooth. I want to find a fetch land pretty badly. Go back to the deck in a second. I didn't find a land. Might just have to try to have a big turn next turn. We've not done a great job of like being able to find lands today. Off of iteration. Maybe an important skill to have with the deck. I think Assassin's Trophy is unplayable in Modern at the moment. Not a big fan of Peatland in decks like this. I find that like the pain usually matters more than the ability to draw a card. I like the Force of Vigors. I think Mortigo is not a card I want at the moment. I think Flusterstorm is better than Dispute, especially against the Cascade decks at the moment. I have a soft spot for Grist. Not a big fan of Cletus. I know it's like I have a lot of loose thoughts, but there's a lot going on here. Okay, Now we get to have a big turn. Hopefully not too late. I explain why I dislike Trophy. Well, it's for all the same reasons I've been talking about. But just to reiterate, like the modern metagame is like the cards that are defining it are efficient 1-mana creatures, and Assassin's Trophy is a 2-mana answer to like a lot of these cards. And it's not only is it a 2-mana creature, it's a 2-mana answer to that gives them a land, and they have so many mana sinks, and like Tron decks are almost non-existent at the moment. Permanents that cost more than 3 are not super common. There are a few like Omnath, but Trophy has like always been like the worst card in these decks, and in some metagames it's important to play Trophy to be able to like have a chance to beat Tron for some of these decks, but Tron is not popular in Modern at the moment, and Trophy is really just like a truly unplayable card, and like, or it's a really bad card in most of these fair matchups. They have Typhoon. We Helix the Typhoon and win with the Rin Ping. Final thoughts on the Esper Reanimator deck? I like the deck. I think it's good. I just finished writing a deck guide for Channel Fireball. We'll play it again some more. I like it. Should we not do all we want in second main phase? We want to play a second Omnath. Playing a second Omnath in that spot seems terrible to me, because the only way we lose this game is to Supreme Verdict. Yeah, I'll play second Fury over. Yeah, the only way we lose that game is to Supreme Verdict. So playing second Omnath all of a sudden removes any insulation we have to Verdict. Keep. I'm set on blue-black control. Is there any reason I shouldn't have a small white splash for ending? Well, if you're playing Into the Story, which I think is the best payoff for being blue-black, Into the Story has tension. With ending, because ending exiles. Splashing white for ending is also not free. Splashing a 1-mana spell in Modern is just not free at all. It's fine. I'm just gonna play the Triome tapped. Full champ block, good luck to you. Team list with Darcy, Murktide could be good. I mean, you can. I've seen some people try it. The thing is, it's just like, I feel like Wrenn and Six and Darcy and Murktide have like pretty different game plans. I'm just not necessarily a believer that you want to play the two cards together, I guess. And you know, again, splashing that third color is doable. It's really not free though. So, which of my 4-mana spells am I jamming here? I think it should be Nahiri. I think it's the weaker of the two spells, and then Omnath is just better when you play on turn 5 after a fetch land. It is nice to play a matchup like this and just like not care about Teferi's static ability. It's pretty rare that that ends up being the case for me, because I tend to play a lot of blue decks with counter spells. But I'm pretty happy to like just not really about this. I think I'm gonna cast Iteration here. Excelling Helix can maybe deny the Teferi the ability to minus this turn. Where's the shark guy from? It's just like an online software. Prismatic Ending. Oh, Solitude. I forgot that they play this card. That's like a 1 Manamorphose, I think, first. Then let's go kill this loot. I guess I want the Fury to kill the Teferi next turn, so I'll just go land, play my own Teferi. Bounce the Rest in Peace. I want to make sure I draw a card before they can Prismatic Ending this. We can Fury the Teferi next turn. Well, kind of regret using the minus. Let's see if we draw Nahiri. Yeah, been betrayed by the Shark Typhoon a bit. They are, they have 3 cards in their hand. They have Rest in Peace. That can at least give them a Shark. They have 2 unknown cards. We have Nahiri to exile this. We have Teferi to bounce, and then Force of Negation on the rebound, potentially, although they might just cycle. Alright, so one of their cards is Scalding Tarn. One of their cards is Rest in Peace. They're fetching now, which means their other card is something gigantic and scary. The second Typhoon. Oh, a big Prismatic Ending. Exile the to get a bigger Shark. That's a cool line. Well, this does mean we get to Wrenn. And then we kind of have a weird decision here where our opponent's last card is Rest in Peace. And if we Force of Negation the Rest in Peace, the Wrenn and Six is a lot better. But saving the Force of Negation for a Planeswalker or another Typhoon or another counterspell seems to be more important. But thankfully my opponents just made the decision super easy. Thanks to them for that. And the Fury is definitely pressuring their life total. If they play Rest in Peace here, they don't have a good block. They're either chump blocking or taking 6. People have suggested bring Slight Valky, people suggesting Niv. I think you want to be staying away from 5 mana. 5 mana threats in Modern Anthem. Okay, so I think we go hand, bottom, exile. I probably should have. Nah, attacking first isn't good because we can hit other things that make waiting better. We get to exile the Typhoon. The Nahiris have felt pretty good so far, I'll say. And then now if they attack my my Nahiri, then they're dead to the ping plus Fury. And I've got another iteration in my hand. And iteration is broken. Card's really, really good. And also if you play a Valky, you have to play a Black Source, which I don't really want to do. I guess you could try to play it off treasure tokens and mana. They do attack, which means, in theory, that they have a way to deal with the Fury or block or something. That they drew something. They could Prismatic Ending Wrenn and Six, I guess. Then go to 1. Alright, let's attack first. How big is a Shark that they could make? Big enough to trade. Not big enough to eat the Fury. Oh, it's Solitude. Wow. That was a sick rip, but they're gonna need to keep top decking because we have a great follow-up too. This card has been so consistently powerful. I've been really impressed by it. Card's just super slept on. Not sure if this is the right line. Holding up the Force might be better, but get rid of the Shark is nice. Yeah, if we force that, we just kind of win. They got to draw 2. They could have stolen this. And then if they stole the golem, they actually have an attack again on the Wrenn. But the Wrenn isn't that relevant with the Rest in Peace in play. But they also get to gain life. It's pretty relevant. Explosives X equals 3. Alright, so now I think I'm just down to trade the general for Solitude. They're chump blocking. Not sure how I feel about that. Alright, so they're dead. Next turn, if they, don't have like another Solitude, their list usually plays like one copy, right? It's hard to keep up with the Nassif list because they often like have small changes and they're like, they could be a little tricky to keep up with. They don't have to chump block there on 6. Yeah, I know. I thought they were gonna block on the general there. They also have the lifelink there. But not that big a deal. Their hand was 2 Teferis? How was it? Oh, they just drew. Okay. They charmed into the awkward. Awkward. It was a good match. It was a hard match, though. No, this is a common misconception. The general does not have protection from monocolored. It has hexproof from monocolored. Although I have seen some opponents act like the general has protection. But it's different. You can block it with monocolored creatures. Yeah, I agree that the Nahiris make these matchups a lot better. The Nahiri seem like really good tech. So shout out to Tyler for that. Tyler Joe Bryan, I think, was the first person who ever was like, they played my like Jund list at like an SCG Classic, or it might have been like a GP side tournament, and did well with it, and they like tweeted at me. Now we become internet friends, but one of the first people to ever like play a list of mine and do well with it. I would play Showdown of the Scalds over Fact or Fiction in this deck. I will definitely resolve Wrenn and Six so we can put back a land. Oh, maybe I should have actually put back I probably should put back the Triome. This way I could go ending into Wrenn and Six. Yeah, Jund Super Friends. Which matchup is Nahiri Emrakul for? Any matchup where you board out Chalice of the Void. I think it's good to have a package of cards for matchups where Chalice is bad, and then it's also like particularly good in like these 4-color grindy mirrors, and then it's also I think good against Mill to have the Emrakul plan. Yeah, like that list was definitely like built where it could have like a 50% matchup against Hogak, but probably had like a slightly smaller than that against like the good Hogak players. No second land? Pretty good. Oh, Bloodstained Mire is interesting. It probably means they're Grixis? I think I'm more concerned with resolving Wrenn, so I'm going to try to Iteration this turn as kind of my bait spell, but let me Manamorphose first. I don't think they're going to counter Manamorphose, and we might have drawn a land off of we might have drawn a land off of the Manamorphose if they countered the Iteration. Could be Blitz. Oh yeah, it could be Blitz. Totally forgot that. Like that's a deck that some people play. Got Blue-Red Prowess. Yeah, but with the lands we've seen, the Bloodstained Mire, Sacred Spiral of Canal, that is, I think, the most likely thing for it to be. So good read. We'll play a creature. Fine. Whoops. Hold on. I need to think if I want to get. Yeah, I actually want to get basic planes off the Arid Mesa, so I'm gonna tap like this. I love this copy pasta. I think it's really good. I like how it changes. Like, I love how the sets change every time. So if they go if they put a Storming Entity into play, I'm not going to Helix it. I think what I can do is play Teferi, and then after Teferi's in play, they can't trigger Prowess to save the entity. Maybe minus, kind of like plussing. If they play 2 entities, then I guess we bounce one, Helix the other. Oh, we also get to Omnath. Be sick. You can just grab Triome. Like to see some fan art. I made of you a shark. Demon 2, please open it privately. I have a scary comment, but I'll take a look if you put it on Twitter. It's fine. Oh, they're gonna kill my Teferi in response. Interesting. Or my Omnath in response. That's fine. We still get to go. Oh no, we can't Helix the mana fizzle, sorry. So I guess I'll just get a tap land and bounce the entity. Oh, right. No Omnath trigger either. I do get to gain the life though. So they probably should have killed it before the ETB trigger. I mean, my opponent's been, you know, they've got a lot of spells in their hand. I really doubt they could hit me for 20 though, or 19. They're thinking. They're thinking. One creature, I think the best they could do is like 10. They could do more than that with lightning bolts and stuff. Like 2 bolts is more than that. They also have a dart in the yard. They excel Swift Spear with Iteration, which is certainly a really good start as well. Another Manamorphose? Oh no way. Oh please. I mean, I probably can't complain too much. The prowess players probably need to. Okay. They probably need like 1 or 2 sick games to get out of the slump that they're in. Hey, how much are we taking? We're taking 7. So we're gonna go. Oh wow. What a draw. Still think we need to Teferi here, so I'm gonna cast that first. Okay, so we can bounce an entity, Helix an entity, and then Prismatic Ending, Swift Spear, and then have a good turn with General next turn. Yeah, I don't think I need to Fury yet, just because the entity is pretty good to bounce. Did I watch that one? I mean, I know what the clip was. I didn't watch it yet. I lived. They did have Lava Dart to save it, but what we have, yeah, we have Teferi that stops them from saving it, which is why we played it first. And they get their revenge. The Lava Dart here. You would do a shark every day? No, but I'm having a good time with it. We'll figure it out. I might do it again at some point. I think we're probably gonna return to normally scheduled streamers soon. Got 2 cards left in their hand. Oh, that's a pretty good card. I forgot that we're a Chalice deck too. That is a pretty good one in this matchup. I'm gonna go Manamorphose for blue-red, I think. See if we hit anything extra. Okay, Chalice on 1. And then if they have a 1-mana spell, I guess it is kind of some tension here if they want to play it now or if they want to hold it. So now do I I don't think that I need to Fury the entity. It's particularly bad to Fury the entity against Dart. No, I guess I would still get to Wrenn ping it. And Furying the entity might let me ultimate Wrenn. Alright, that's probably good enough for me. That's probably good enough for me. Can't Dart with Chalice? Yeah, they can trigger Prowess twice with Dart to save it from the 4 damage, but then we can ping. But they can cast the darts. You go 3-1 and ping with Wrenn to deal 2. If I do that, then they can save the entity with Dart, right? But if I do it like this, and they can double Dart to save entity, but then I can just ping. Chalice and 0 for Bobble. Yeah, that's probably correct. I'll do that. But do I hold these lands in my hand for Wrenn? I think I do. I do. Because if my Wrenn doesn't take any damage, I'm just gonna ultimate. No, the dart that was in the yard got used last turn to kill Teferi. Let's see, Healy Cat combo deck work on a General Ferocious. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of tough to like have 2 like really dirtily combo pieces in your general deck, where general is a 3-mana creature that you need to untap with, and so having like Feldar Guardian Saheeli is just a bit. Good call on the Chalice, by the way. Is I don't know, just doesn't really seem where I'd like to be with the deck. Cool. We're more or less pre-boarded in this matchup. I probably will bring in like the explosives for maybe the second Prismari Command. I also don't like really hate the first Nahiri over the second command, I guess. Good matchup, I think. No, I don't think Rest in Peace is good against them. I guess I forgot that they played Darcy now. But we're a Wrenn and Six deck. Only stops Darcy. Dart. I don't think I want it. But I wouldn't fault you for bringing like 1 copy in. This hand's close. I think I'll keep. This hand's like good, pretty good if it draws 1 land. Any justification for Force of Negation? I know I have historically not liked Force against Blue-Red Prowess. It's gotten better against them since they started playing Iteration, but you know, as always, if you're going to suggest bringing in a card like Force, it's like way more helpful if you say, let's cut X or Y card to bring it in. Yeah, the Fury just seems so good in this matchup. Although now they can trigger Prowess. All right, let me just Prismatic Ending one of these guys then. Play this tapped, and we can like Iteration next turn. Over Nahiri / Explosives. I think I'd rather have Nahiri and Explosives. Yeah, on the draw, there's also more of an argument for Force, but in the past, I've not been happy with Force against Prowess. Are you recording myself without the shark? I'm not, no. But it would be funny to see all the faces I've been making. Like this one particularly is pretty weird. All right, please find a land. Maybe I should. I've got a general in my hand. I think I'm just gonna evoke a few. They have mutagenic growth to get to save this. It's fine. And then the general is invincible, or at least hexproof from their deck. Could be. I guess they could play Kozilek's Return. Fire Spell seems like a fun sideboard card against Prowess. Well, it kills our own general. Yeah, so like, I don't know, like it kills our own general, so the fact that it's multicolored I don't think is that big a boon. I also don't think we need sideboard cards for Prowess. We're a Chalice Lightning Helix deck, you know? Alright, decent chance of dying here. If I tap out for the general. Yeah, I was probably too greedy to like lose the second Fury. It was probably too greedy. I guess I'm gonna iteration, try to find a Helix. Not be too happy about it. And we can go off with general next turn too. Yeah, Fury is so good. The card's just cracked. They didn't sack the bauble? Does that mean we're just dead anyways? Yeah, we probably win this game if we keep the other Fury. Not a Swift Spear. We were dead to Bolt, right? It is, another Manamorphose. Oh, another Manamorphose. Alright, I think I'm gonna pack it in. Go to game 3. I know technically they had to cast one more spell to kill me, but off of it. Alright, let's submit this. Matchup's like way better on the play too because we have Chalice. I think you could maybe make an argument for Force of Negation on the draw. I don't think you can make a good one for it on the play. This hand's a bit awkward because it can't cast Iteration. But I think I'm going to keep. It needs to draw like any land. And we have Explosives and Prismatic Ending. I guess not any land. We have a forest and a plains in the. I think it's fine. Should I play Prismatic Ending and Explosives here? I might. It's like, okay, rewarded. Yeah, I think that's just the best use of my mana. Although I get to play this tapped actually. That probably matters more. And this like also like if my opponent has 2 more 1-drops, they'll play them out here if they only have 1. Or if they have 2, they would only play 1 if I played the Explosives out here. That was actually the best land to draw, right? Just untapped 4-color land. Perfect mana, don't take any damage this game. I guess we had to play 2 lands tapped. Still pretty good. Get to play general on an empty board? Golly. Just has hexproof. Yeah, Solitude's not bad. Endurance is pretty good. Grief and Subtlety are fine in like Living End and decks like that. Well then. Manamorphose one time. Can I buy a Manamorphose? I also do have a 3/1 hexproof. They don't have access to any blue mana. They don't have another creature. I have 4 Manamorphose in the deck. Let's go! Oh my gosh. Hell yeah. Oh, I get to exile the Bloodmoon off Nahiri. Let's go, dude. I braid my token deal. Yeah, hexproof and monocolor pretty relevant in this format, I think. Bolts Nahiri. Plays Entity. What kills general that's seeing play? Wrenn and Six, Kolaghan's Command, Drowned the Lock, Prismari Command. It's like a decent amount of stuff, but a lot of decks just can't kill it. And like the 4-color mirrors, I've just been holding the general until I can just like cast it and trigger some spells. I've been liking that plan so far. We drew the basic planes. It's kind of nice. Yeah, Terminate 2. I feel like Decay and Trophy aren't that popular at the moment, but they exist to some extent. They're not, you know, completely out of the loop. No, I don't play a Black Triumph. I don't play any card. I mean, the only card that cares about black would be Prismatic Ending, but we have Manamorphose and treasure tokens. We have Prismatic Ending on 5 today, actually. I don't think Decay and Rip Apart are seeing play. I don't know. You might run into them every once in a while, but they're not popular cards at all. Yeah, we did get Terminated earlier. Terminate's definitely a real card at the moment. What's the Nahiri in the sideboard now? I feel like I missed a change. Yeah, we cut the gut shots and then the third wear tear for the Nahiris. That way we can have like a plan for like specifically the mirror, where we've now started to play against the mirror. The deck has picked up in popularity, and having a cohesive plan for the mirror seems really important to me. All right, gonna have a really good turn here. See how much longer my opponent wants to play. Green, blue, whites, red, black. Prismatic Ending for 5 here too, huh? Cool. Alright, so 4-1-3-2-4-1 today. You know, not as good as yesterday's insane record, but you can't just have days like that every day, or almost any day. The deck has still been feeling really strong, really powerful. Ooh, Tiamat. I know these are expensive in paper. I guess I can hold on. Where's my